So if I was with somebody, I would kind of take their body and lengthen up their spine and show them, this is where you were, this is where we want to be. I can't do that for everybody, but what you can do is, I'm going to just step out here and show you a few things. So if your pattern is this, or whatever version of it is, we need to get the head lengthening up. It's almost like we need to take the head and the shoulders up out of the spine because everything sinks down. So we want to start from the top and lift, like add a little string up here. So one thing that you can do, and what I want people to try, is to take their hands like this. I'm going to come closer just so you can see. Put the 4 fingers on the base of your skull, like really on the back of your skull. Yep. Okay. And then the thumb here is going to go in the front of the jaw. Oh. Yeah. So the thumb is there because what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen up. But what I don't want is for you to just lift the head up and pull your chin in. That's a common thing that people do. Like, okay, and I got it. We have to make sure you have all the space here. So that's what the thumb is for. So let me show you. So let's say you're here. You're going to take your hands to your skull, take your thumb, skull, jaw, and then you lift the back of the skull while keeping your thumbs there. So you take the jaw and the front of your spine with it. So it should give you a little bit of lift in the back of you should feel it
too, chin lift.
Part of what happens is things kind of fall down. A lot of people say as they do this work, oh, I don't have a double chin anymore. Like it's an indirect benefit. And then so stay there, since you're there, bring your arms down, take a few breaths while you're there. You can take your arms down, yep. Can you feel a little bit of length up through your spine?
Yeah, it does feel length. Yeah.
You might feel back working here a little bit.
Uh-huh, I do.
Because those muscles, if you've been here, they're not doing much work. They're just not doing it. So if you take yourself up, these muscles back here are going to start to be working. And that's good. That's a sign that you're doing it right. Okay. You want that. You don't want to pull up here and then just like hold in this really stiff way. Yeah. So I add, take a few breaths because we have to make sure we're breathing when we're putting ourselves in these new places. You might feel like, okay, I've got the posture. I'm going to hold it here. Yeah. Breathe. You want to eventually get to a place where where the new thing feels a little more comfortable, you're at ease. It may not feel that way right away, but you don't want to hold it like this because that is just more tension. I'm talking about sitting, and I am going to get to the sciatica things. So, okay, we're sitting. So this is pretty common. This is pretty common. Some version of these. Okay. The most important thing when you're sitting is that you want to sit underneath the bones at the very bottom of your spine. So they're hard to feel if you're on a cushy chair, but if you're on wood or metal, you'll feel them. Underneath, like kind of feeling under your butt here, you'll feel those be directly on them. If you're sitting behind them like that, the rounded spine thing, you look at my upper body. Even if I try to lift it up, it won't go all the way up because the spine is not meant to round this way when you're sitting.
Oh, that makes sense.
On those before you can lengthen up. So sciatica, this is important for everything, but especially sciatica, because if you're here, your lower back, your spine is really compressed, and you're probably putting pressure on the sciatic nerve because you're just dropped into it. Yeah. So that you are on those sit bones, and then you can do this. Ah. Get on the sit bone. You get your length there and just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Hang out here for a minute, see how it feels. Maybe you'll do, I tell people, try for a minute every hour that you're available to do it. Then the next day, try 3 minutes every hour. Set an alarm on your phone every hour to practice. Okay. Remind yourself. You need reminders, otherwise it's not going to happen. So sciatica, that's really important. Hamstring stretching, hip stretching, that's all really important. But sciatica, if you are constantly doing that, sinking down into the lower back, it's putting pressure on the nerve. Same thing standing. If you're sinking down here or whatever, you're just compressing. And if you compress that nerve, it's just that if you have that tendency, it's just going to keep pressing on it. It's going to irritate all the muscles around it, and you have to get off of that. Like get off of it, basically. So this is a really great position. Can you see it well?
I can. Yeah.
So this is the difference between it. We don't want, and this is just for, it's called constructive rest position. So this guy's lying down, legs are stretched out. You can see that lifting in the lower back there. It's just putting, there's tension there. So here, the legs are bent, and you can have them on the floor. You can put them over a chair, put them on a ball, whatever you have. They could be on the ground or up on something, as long as the legs are elevated. There's a little bit of head. This guy has a little book. You want something that's not really soft. A book, a towel folded up, a pillow's too easy.
Do you want something not soft?
Not too soft, not so soft, all the way down into it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So like if you have a pillow that's not really soft, you can use that. But if you have a really soft pillow, just for like the rest position that you would, this isn't really for sleeping. This is just for, I'm going to break and rest my lower back. This can be really great for sciatica too, because it helps that lengthening of the spine here. This is what we want, that length. It gets the legs kind of coming out of the hips here. Whereas here, we still have that compressing and that shortening in the lower back, and the legs are just going straight out, and they're kind of getting, you'll feel it if you try it, but getting a little bit pulled here. Okay. Whereas this is much more supportive. But that's really helpful. It's so helpful, especially for the lower back, any of that stuff, just to rest there for 10, 15 minutes.